Hi, you are inside the sound chamber. My name is Don Simmons. I'm very grateful to have a wonderful guest that deals with food, but also sees it in a way that is very, very unique. We've never really heard about. And I want to welcome Dr. Carol Randacci. Is that right? Randacci?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. Let me just give our guests a little information about you. Dr. Carol Randacci is a board certified Oriental medicine doctor and acupuncture physician, energy therapist, sound therapist, horticulturist, and hopeful human, which I think we all need that certification. We all need to be more hopeful humans. Dr. Carroll has trained with alternative medicine's finest physicians and for 38 plus years has practiced Raj Yoga meditation. She studied agriculture and horticulture at Ohio State, working after graduation for Rodell Organic Research Farm in Pennsylvania. The world of plants moved her into studying alternative medicine on many levels and began studying herbal medicine, nutrition, and the nature of human evolution, studying with an Amish community in southern Indiana outside of Cincinnati for 4 years. From there, she went back to school to study Oriental medicine, and after years of practicing and continual study, she came to the use of acupuncture as a form of sound therapy. The acupoints, singularly and in combination, create a musical composition that informs the body, both physical and non-physical. One of her central societal concerns is how the temperament of our society and the world in general is constructed in part by the food eaten, and the signature from our food system is not a healthy vibration. She's been researching how the food changes the way our body responds on a spiritual level and how important it is to live with the clearest vibration possible. I love this quote by you, and I'm going to give you the full quote. I see our evolution as moving into becoming Homo luminous, light beings with truth and passion and integrity as what we are made of. And on my journey, I've discovered that food, more than nutrition or entertainment, is a modality long misunderstood. We have too much food produced from pain and suffering and outdated, antiquated, barbaric methods that continue to create anger and stress, leading to a society of intolerance and aggression. I see food as a sound therapy technique. Food has vibration and sound, resonance and life. Dr. Carroll, the world is waiting for you. Thank you so much for being here and doing what you're doing.
Don, it's so nice to be able to speak with you. I'm really appreciative of you taking the time to do this.
Absolutely. And your participation in the International Sound Therapy Association conference in Sarasota seems like it would be out of place because you deal more with food, but how you have specifically began looking at food as vibrational and sound is fascinating to me. Let
Hmm.
me let me give a caveat with that. When I think about what do I want in my body, I actually think of it as tones. Do I want a high tone or I want a low tone? Do I
Hmm.
want something that's gives me sort of an up or something that's a little more grounding? And you have
Yes.
really done the research and looking at this. What got you interested in this? How did it begin for you?
It actually began for me when I started my spiritual journey. And simultaneously, I was going to school for horticulture and working with organic gardening and Rodale, for instance. And I started to really look at our food system and what we were doing to ourselves, but not just from a nutritional standpoint. I was seeing it from an energetic standpoint and realizing that as a vegetarian in the beginning, 40 years ago, and then moving into being vegan, I started to look at it as what are we doing to our not only ourselves and the animals, but what are we doing to the world by the way we're setting up our bodies in these energy patterns by the food that's we're eating that's harming us. So it's not just harming us individually, it's harming us globally. And that started to become a really big concern of mine. And I was very concerned about the evolutionary process. And I would hear a lot about people talking about ascension or enlightenment. And those words seem somewhat empty to me. And over the years, I've been taking them apart and looking at individual components. And what does that really mean? Excuse me, what does that really mean to be ascending or enlightened? And then I started to see that many articles and different talks we've heard about people saying that we're going from Homo sapien to Homo luminous and becoming light beings. Well, we can't become light beings and ascend when we stay in this realm of pain and suffering.
Right. So low vibration, you can't ascend if you're working off of a low fuel source.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that makes perfect sense. How do you see food being able to move together like that symphony, putting those things together? In other words, are you thinking about balanced diet, balanced food? Does it begin at the farm, or where does it really begin?
It's a circular thing. So it doesn't begin somewhere, but we all interact with it on every level. Does it begin on the farm? Absolutely, it begins on the farm. Does it begin in the soil? Absolutely. Does it begin with seed production? All of those things. Then what we take into our bodies, it's not just a matter of nutrition. To me, it's a matter of taking in that sound that those plants produce. I'm very adamant about taking all animals and animal byproducts out of our system. I've seen so much as a practitioner. I've seen so much damage that's happened because of that. Mostly, and for me, in my estimation, it's about the animals, the brutality of all that. So with that piece there, always as a component in my education and my research, I then went to another level and said, well, the food that we're taking in, and we're talking about nutrition all the time, and I taught classes and taught cooking classes and things like that. But what does that mean of the nutrition? And that's when I started to realize that the food itself had sound, that the food resonates different, not only different notes, but vibrations and frequencies. And those frequencies are overlaid in our physical and non-physical systems. So started to do some more experimenting with taking the 5-element system of Oriental medicine, for instance, and looking at the organ systems and how they resonate with sound, and then taking the food that resonates with those particular vibrations or notes and overlaying the two.
Do you feel that we are able to change the vibration of food? Let's say that it's not coming, when you think about, okay, it starts in the ground and it's the farmer that, plowed the field. And what if they were having a bad day? Energy goes into the farm, it moves into the food. And I know it changes and shifts with the rain and the sun. And then, it comes to the grocery store and the same kind of thing. Once it comes to our own kitchen, our own plate, can we, through sound therapy with a tuning fork or a bowl, or even a prayer or a chant, can that change the vibration of the food? Something that was a lower vibration to a higher vibration.
Yes, I actually do practice that, and I believe it. And that goes through all the ancient text of most spiritual systems, that intention and understanding, when you go in through the heart with the food, that you can create a different frequency and vibration. Vibration to me is the information part, and the frequency is how that is resonating. So we can change the information, and we can eliminate some of the toxins or some of the disharmonies if possible. And so, yes, I think that thought is one of the key ways to do that.
Yeah, I think, as I was telling you, I've got a friend that's a private chef, and I think that's one of the reasons why she is as in demand as she is that she's also a Reiki master and a shamanic practitioner. And so
Hmm.
anytime she even starts grocery shopping, she's already in tune with the frequency and vibration of what is
Yeah,
ready, what is necessary, how do these foods blend together. And then when
yeah,
she's in the kitchen, it's truly a ceremony more than just cooking,
yes.
you know.
Yes, it's a sacred event. I mean, we take food for granted and so flippant about it. We use it for entertainment. We use it for inducing things. It's all kinds of things. Not that there's anything right or wrong about any of that, but I think we've lost the sacredness of it. And so, to me, going back to the food as sound is is one of the key components of how sacred it is. That it's not just a physical matter; it's literally sound, and the same sound and light formation that has created this incredible universe that we live in.
I absolutely love where you're going with this. This is truly the next phase of sound vibration and therapy, how we intake the
Mhm.
senses all the way around. So you're going to be giving a presentation for the ISTA conference on Saturday the 21st from 12 to 1 p.m. And it is spiritual vibration of food and why it matters. Excuse me. What will you be talking about during this presentation? What will people take away from this?
So, what I want them to take away from it, when all is said and done, is just the recognition that we have kind of glossed over the sacredness and the importance of not just nutritionally, but just from the sense of spirituality and vibration and sound and love. And all of those are what has been that is what manufactured the food. All of that, the love, the sound, the vibration, all of it, produce this food. And then we're gifted with the fact that we can take that into our bodies. Um, so I want them to take away, just even to wait, if they just woke up to that recognition, that would be enough for me. But I'm also going to share some other of my ideas. We're talking about how are we going to become homo luminous? What do we do with these 5 element predicaments? How do we take these different foods, and how do we know which ones to take into our bodies at what given time? So I've got some information on that for them to be able to use. Um, so and I really do hope that they start to differentiate between what is really important whole food created by nature and what we've done to ourselves, and start to eliminate those things, even if it's just one step at a time. That's fine. So start with a recognition, and then hopefully people will move from that point.
It really is the idea and an awareness of mindfulness, throughout the practice of living
Yeah,
and being very mindful of what is taking place within
right.
and honoring that sacredness.
Yes.
And Dr. Carroll, I do believe what you're doing is extremely visionary, without a doubt, of bringing the attention to food as more than just fuel to get us from point A to point B. This is getting us all the way from A to Z. So,
Yeah.
Dr. Carroll, I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the ISTA conference in September 20th through the 22nd. I know it's going to have a great impact, not only on our conference, but the world. So thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm
Is
looking
there,
forward to it. It's going to be very exciting.
I love it. Can't wait to see you. Is there anything else you would like to add to this, by the way?
You know what? I think you've done such a great job that I think we've hit the main points.
That's what we're looking for. I want to
Yeah.
invite everybody to come and to be a part of the ISTA conference. I will ask, how can people get in touch with you, either through after the conference or at any time that they want to have a conversation?
Yeah, I have an email address that people can get a hold of me, a text number.
Okay.
Um, shall I give it
Yeah,
out now? Text
sure.
number?
Yeah.
Okay, my text number is 941-284-8894. And right now, that's usually the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay,
Text messaging, and then we can set up times to talk if people
that's
have
great.
questions, or I'm looking for anybody else that's doing this kind of research. I'm really interested in networking to see who else is doing what. I mean, there's universities all over the world that are working on this now, and all kinds of new information coming out. There's now information that says that plants can actually see us, and that they are making sounds that are communicating with each other, that
Yeah.
they're making sounds that are communicating with the insects around them that pollinate them. So there's so much exciting information and research going on. So anybody that's interested in it and has any information they want to share, I'm always open.
Like I said, Dr. Carol, you are on a visionary track right here, opening into a whole new world of how we move through the
Yeah.
world. And I'm very grateful for you.
Thank you. And so nice to meet you. And I can't wait to see you in the end of September. And I hope
Absolutely.
everybody comes down to the conference. It's going to be dynamic.
It really will be. Thanks to you. Thank you, Dr. Carol. We'll see you at the beach. Take care.